Alright folks, how are we doing? It's Shabash. It's tier 3 of our full main story quest run through tutorial, and we have to go to Vinland and speak to Galar of Murkheim. He's this bloke with a big orange beard, suspiciously dwarf looking, with a hammer, and essentially he is going to ask us to do a couple things. First, we have to build a blacksmith in our origin town and then also upgrade equipment. 3 pieces of equipment, and we're going to get a gauntlet key for our trouble. So a fine blacksmith indeed. And while you're up in Vinland, you can check the store for any potential upgrades. Some silver, you might be lucky and find some stone here. We actually get quite lucky, we get apprentice shoes, we can wear that. We are not a melee character, but if you're melee, you're looking out for amulets and things, very good to boost your attack. You can also check the Rose's Rest Inn for any potential quests, and here's also where you hold for information. This tells you where NPCs are. So okay, High Elf Dalan, not very useful. Alright, so let's go to our origin town to check what we need to build a blacksmith. And of course we need the dreaded stone. We need 25 stone, 25 wood, and 1/4 mil gold. So gold is fairly easy, wood is easy, but of course stone is the difficult one again. What we can actually do for wood, a nice little trick, is to buy some woody looking items in our shops. So nothing here, but typically there are wooden type weapons you can buy, and they will dismantle into wood. Things like bows, you see, requires wood, canes, that type of thing, quite nice to dismantle into wood. Goblin Lord staff, just going to get rid of a couple of things here. We also, don't forget, we need to upgrade three items. So what I'm actually going to do, there is a blacksmith already in Svarga. So I'm going to walk to Svarga and I'm going to stick 3 pieces of equipment in the blacksmith, because it will take 1 hour to level up from up to level 2. And then while we do that, we can walk around and find the stone required to build a blacksmith. Now we're in Svarga, check the smith, and try not to upgrade anything that requires wood or stone here. So things like daggers, Karl's dagger requires iron, and typically some early armor like a simple hood. Yeah, hide. Okay, hide is not the best. You can use it to build more bestiaries in the future, but it's only 3. So there we go. We have 3 items leveling up. You see, it takes 60 minutes for these to level up. While we're here, going to check the shop if there's anything useful. You can actually buy things to dismantle them. So these great swords I'm going to dismantle. Check this out, fine whetstone. Awesome, going to buy all of those. Check for whetstones early in shops. May as well buy a hood as well, get some hide out of it. I'm also going to check the bestiary, see if there's any tier 3 pets which are worth buying. Okay, Dragon Mage, but this is actually pretty good for us as a mage. Nice collection of skills. Imp is probably better if you're a melee character, although arguably Dragon Mage is probably the best tier 3 available to me right now. And there's also an NPC here, a nice little quest on the side to pick up Alden's hat. Okay, so while our equipment is in the smithy upgrading, I'm going to go and farm stone. Nice juicy lump of stone here. Ooh, 5. At this point, it's definitely worth going up into Lithrin Woods. This is the tier 3 zone, and we'll have tier 3 mobs spawning, and there is a couple of mobs in tier 3 that can actually drop stone as a material drop, so you can kind of walk around here, and there's one there, that ogre there, that drops stone, so let's go kill that. I do also now have enough orns to pick up my tier 3 class. It's the sorcerer. Cost 50,000 orns. But what I'm going to do is show you a little trick. If you don't quite have enough orns at the moment, what you can do is actually buy the tier 1 classes that you didn't have, picking up their skills. So in my case, I'm going to buy the warrior and the thief. And then you're also going to buy the other tier 2 classes except the knight. And you see that actually leads to the student achievement line. We get 10,000 orns there. And we also can unlock Paladin. So do not unlock the Knight because it only learns a couple of skills, whereas Paladin, look at all these skills we learn. And also Rogue. Rogue actually has very useful skills you'll use to the end of the game. That is Sleep Dart and Stun Dart. Very, very useful skills for all class types. And we just got to wait a little bit for the achievements to tick. And here we go, Polymath 2 for unlocking more classes. And the Student 4, it's 25,000 orns there for getting a few more skills. So now we went from 53,000 orns up to 68,000 orns. So that's a good little way if you didn't quite have enough orns at this stage in the game to unlock your tier 3 class. We're going Mage Line, so we are unlocking Sorcerer, who at will is fairly useful. But unfortunately our main skills for this class we learn are level 75. Anyway, back to the stone farm. These stone golems are pretty good. They can drop stone as well. If you've got any water-based skills, Ice Strike or Frost, definitely use them because they are weak to the ice skills. Let's see if he drops it for us. No. That's the problem here. If you've seen my How to Farm Stone video, you'll know that unless you have some luck gear, such as, you know, dowsing rods or any other items, they don't really like to drop the materials very easily. Oh dear, we've died and we've ended up back in Svarga. Okay, that's why you want to pick up the Waygate before you venture out, because you can easily kind of travel there. Just smashed a couple of dailies, reached Quest Seeker 4, and we found some more stone. There you go, 9 stone, boom. Nice trick when walking to Lythrin for the first time, you can click across the pond there, and that will take you all the way up and round through Lythrin Woods, and you can get off here, get the Waygate up there. Gonna try and kill this Lost Pharaoh for a weapon upgrade. See how we get on. It's definitely worth, if you can, trying to take these guys out, because you will get a nice weapon upgrade, if more than likely if you are a mage or melee character. And there we go, we get the Ankh. Let's get that on. Actually go in your weapons, and this is where you want to use a whetstone. Get it to level 2. And also use another one, if you have one. We bought a couple earlier on. Now check this out, 97 attack, 97 magic. Still farming stone, came to the Fen Halls because there's 2 clickables in this zone, and it's nighttime. We got a Berserk buried. This should be a guaranteed stone drop if we can not use an immune skill. Berserk basically doubles their stats and triples the rewards. And there we go, we get 1 stone, very nice. By rewards I mean experience, orns, and gold. It doesn't triple the items that they drop. Goblin Fortress, by the way, not a bad place to farm stone. A lot of the mobs in there do drop stone, and completing dungeons can give you a random, well, they do give you random materials as well. But I am saving my keys at the moment. I'm not even sure if we have any keys. Finally, more stone. 5 stone. I think we might be good to go now. 25 stone, 88 wood. Let's head back to our origin town. Tap on Go Fanon. Blacksmith. Definitely want Blacksmith close to the entrance, and boom. There we go. Now you can access all your items upgrading from any blacksmith in the game. See, bloody hell, it took us 30 minutes to get 20 odd stone there. That's incredible. So same blacksmith here as the one in Svarga, and any other towns you can access the same upgrading equipment. And there we go, 1 hour has passed. We have upgraded 3 items of equipment, which is absolutely fantastic. We can complete this quest. We've already built our blacksmith, and there we go, a fine blacksmith indeed. Get another gauntlet key, and now we need to meet Seeker Mara in the resting place, and it's very close to us. We just need to get out of the origin town, go past Lowton, and it's just around the corner of Lowton. Kind of continue east northeast past Lowton, And you can see on my map here, this is the resting place over here. So you essentially need to go up north of Loten and then just round this kind of hairpin bend that you immediately come across the woods. Completing quests here, there, and everywhere today. Refined robe. Okay, we'll just pop in. Enter the resting place. Mara again has the scroll on her head. And of course, it is important to remember the unfelled cause. Please help me. Ridding the fallen of their curse. Now, remember the fallen. This is a very, very renowned quest, shall we say. Defeat 3 fallen mobs, the Archmage, the Knight, and the Witch, to get some gold and Mara's blessing. So these are tier 3 mobs. Unfortunately, these are rare mobs. But let's just get out of here. Now, they do start spawning in the tier 3 zone, which is Lithrin. This is the tier 3 zone. If you are over tier 3 already and you have, for example, the tier 4 area unlocked, these mobs will also spawn in the tier 4 zone. And the thing is, they are rare mobs, so technically there's kind of two or three good ways to try and collect these mobs. Firstly, you can just kill monsters in Lithrin Woods and pray for one of them to spawn as the quest mob. I've actually lucked out here, tremendously lucked out. The other way is you can do the reset party trick. I've got a video for that in the description that basically will quickly reset all the mobs and the bosses on the screen and clickables as well. So it's a very quick way to refresh everything in the game, actually. I do recommend you checking that video out, very useful. And the third way is actually in dungeons. The monsters in dungeons, it can be random every floor. And it's a good way to kind of normalize the chance for these mobs to spawn. But we're very lucky here. We've got Fallen Archmage. So they do have quite a bit of health. These guys, over 1k health. But we should be able to take them down if you've got some, as long as you're wearing some armor and have an Ankh as your weapon. Very easy to take down. And I am actually pretty sure there's a Fallen Witch at the south end of Lithrin Woods, because I was farming a couple of bosses while my gear was in the Blacksmith, so hopefully it's still there. We'll need to check. Okay, it's not there. Unfortunately, I must have done the party reset trick, so I'm going to go back towards the way gate. It seems like there's quite a few mobs up there. And the tactic I'm going to use here is to reset the zone. Because, for example, it might take you... there's 6 mobs here. It might take you 1 minute to kill all these mobs. Whereas, if I do the party trick, I'm in a party, so I disband this party. Use an alt to invite to a new party. So this new party creates a new world instance. Gonna leave and play to instantly take over the server. And boom, we've switched around sort of all the mobs. So in the immediate vicinity, there's maybe 10 fresh mobs that I can hit. A stone up there as well. Going to grab that stone, very useful. Unfortunately, no quest mobs, but that is the fast way to essentially, reset mobs and find new mobs. It's not very clean, but unfortunately, it's the quickest way. If you are tier 4 and you have unlocked the tier 4 area, tier 4 is a very large map area. You could actually just walk all the way down, all the way to Sadun, and you will hopefully find all the mobs. Oh, we got the Fallen Knight. Look down here, we got Fallen Knight. But by the time you walk all the way down there, you will hopefully... Let's actually put a torch on. There's a very high chance that you would encounter all 3 of the required fallen mobs by the time you reach there. So we got quite lucky here. We got Fallen Knight, we got Fallen Archmage already. So now we just need the Fallen Witch. To be honest, I'm going to do another party reset. And boom, there's the Fallen Witch. I did 2 more party resets and we managed to find all of the mobs. Also leveled up to 75, so I got a nice new Cataclysm spell. Absolutely love that. And that's it. That is the quest done. Unfortunately, the best way to do it is to kind of use some little tricks, but that is... Otherwise, you can be stuck on this quest. Make sure, if you're not going to do the party reset, you do need to cycle through the mobs as best and efficiently as you can, which basically just means killing them as fast as you can. Now we have to go back to the resting place, speak to Mara. Here we go. Okay, now we have to complete another dungeon, deep in dungeons. And by this point, you should definitely have one key, at least from Galar. So to change things up, I'm going to come down to this Goblin Fortress. This is a kind of theme dungeon, we call it. And notice this one, you cannot change the tier on. So this may be a bit tricky because all the mobs here will be up tiered to the same tier as your character. And we just hit tier 4. So this actually probably wasn't the best idea because these mobs will hit quite hard, and I don't have very high defense. Okay, there we go. Yeah, this was not the best idea. Okay. So maybe don't do that. I just want to check if I have another key available. Thank God I do. I killed a couple of demonites. So what we're going to do instead, once my cooldown is, we're going to go to a Mushroom of Perilous Visitation because we can actually down tier that dungeon and make it easier. Here we are. And this is what we call a normal dungeon. And you see we have the option to select the tier here. So if you don't see that, click on the options. And just to make this really safe, I'm going to go tier 2 for now. Because, you know, at this stage in the game, our gear is generally not going to be leveled up. We're going to have very low quality gear, if you like. So we just want to continue the quest line and move forward. So as before in my, I think it was tier 2 video, the buffs that you use stay on in every floor throughout the entire dungeon. So use magic boost or war cry if you are using attack based builds, and we should be strong enough to kind of fly through without too much difficulty. These mobs are, well, the dungeon is rated a tier below us. There will be a mixture of tiers in these normal dungeons, typically 1 to 2 tiers beneath the tier of the dungeon we selected. But as we can see, a nice easy way to complete the quest. And yeah, some gold, some orange, and some random materials. 1 stone, in fact, as well. Super nice. And we get a lucky silver coin, a little level, and we go back to meet Seeker Mara, who actually, fortunately, is not very far away. And now we have to become stronger. We have to, actually, she's asking us to choose a specialization as well. So, yeah, the 4th tier, which means we have to get a tier 3 class, which we have done. We have to unlock a specialization, and we also have to reach level 75, which is effectively reaching tier 4, which we have done as well. Now, a lot of build guides will actually recommend waiting until tier 5, that is level 100, before unlocking a specialization, because basically the specializations are your class. It's like your subclass. So if you're going to change class and then specializations here, you can see the first one is free, but after that you will need to spend orns every time you want to change your spec. So I would recommend actually waiting until tier 5 and picking up something like Berserker. Otherwise you will have to spend 25,000 orns. However, orns are a little bit easier to come by these days. You can do memory hunts every day, more than one a day on average, and it's a good way to get orns. So for the purpose of continuing this spec line, I'm going to go with Apprentice, even though we get barely anything from it. There we go. No skills, unfortunately. Could do with maybe a little upgrade that spec class, to be honest. But at least that allows us to complete the 4th tier. And now we have to go back to Squire Samson in Lowton to continue leveling up and going through the tiers. So if you enjoyed this video, I want to thank you for watching. I also want to thank the Arisen Orna Legends for supporting me on Patreon and on Twitch. Support is greatly appreciated, allows me to do all these guides. And tier 4 will be coming up very soon, if not already by the time you're watching this video. So check that out. Got some nice quests coming up. I'm Shabash. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in tier 4.